Section 10.2 is on 45, 45, 90-degree triangles. Basically what that is you have a right triangle, because it's a 90-degree triangle with two 45-degree angles, which really puts it at an isosceles right triangle. Okay, when you have an isosceles right triangle, you've got two sides that are exactly the same. The hypotenuse is going to be a little bit longer than that, and this is the commonality between it. When you have a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle, what happens is you have a 90 degrees, a 45 degrees, and a 45 degrees. No matter what this value is here, this side is also that value because it's isosceles. This value is that number times the square root of 2. So if this side was 2, this side's also 2. This side is 2 square root of 2. Same with 3. 3 times 3, or 3 and 3 and 3 square root of 2. 4 and 4 and 4 square root of 2. It's kind of a rule of thumb for 45, 45, 90-degree triangles. As you can see, if you're given one of the legs, you know the other leg, the hypotenuse is just that number times the square root of 2. Now, as you can see, this is a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle. This is one of the legs. So this is that leg times the square root of 2. Because the hypotenuse is the longest side, so it has to be a little bit longer than 3, which is 3 square root of 2. Now, this time, they give you the hypotenuse. To go from the hypotenuse down to the leg, you basically take off the square root of 2, so x is 7. And of course, if this side is 7, so is the other side. All right, so let's try these. If you would, pause your video and see if you can figure this out. I will go over these when you're done. Okay, if the leg's a 4, this is also a 4. This is 4 square root of 2, so x is 4 square root of 2. This is 5 square root of 2, because the leg is 5. X here is 6, because it's a leg and it's less than the hypotenuse, and this one is all 3. Determine whether there is enough information to conclude that the triangle is 45, 45, 90. And the answer on this one is yes, because you know that they all three, this one is 90, and all three of them, so 2x plus 90, add up to 180. So you know 2x has to be 90, so x is 45. So there are two 45-degree angles because they have to be to add up to 180. Show that the triangle is 45, 45, 90. Well, that is, and then find the value of x. Okay, so I know this is an isosceles triangle because two sides are the same. We then know the two base angles are the same, and they have to be 45 in that case, for the reason we just talked about. Since that's a 45, 45, 90, to go from here to here, x is just 5, or the hypotenuse divided by the square root of 2. The hypotenuse divided by the square root of 2. So that's what x is. Anytime you go from the hypotenuse to a leg, instead of multiplying, you do the opposite. So you're dividing. Okay, so to go from here to here, 8 divided by the square root of 2. To go from here to here, it's 12 divided by the square root of 2. And of course, they want you to write it as the nearest tenth. So all we're going to do is 8 divided by the square root of 2. and we get 5.7. 12 divided by the square root of 2. 8.5. Okay, so that's how you do that. And that's all there is for 8.2.